Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and I have a 1 month challenge update for you. Thumbs up if you took part. This month has come and gone, and as a quick recap for those who missed it, or for those who, like me, have a terrible memory, what was I saying? I challenged myself not to consume any new information. No learning, no research, no reading non-fiction, because I just felt that I was being overwhelmed by everything I was being bombarded with on a daily, actually hourly basis. If you want to watch the video where I initially set myself the challenge, then I will link it in the description box, so pause this video and go watch that one first. Ready? Great. So let's talk about how I fared, how difficult I found it, and how I feel about the challenge now. You know, whether it was worth it, whether I would do it again, what I would change, etc, etc. Let's talk about our feelings. Let's go. "31 days of no new information." What's the main thing I learned? 31 days is actually a pretty long time. So did I go the distance? Yes. Here's the thing about no new information. It's a bit broad. I think it's impossible not to learn something new in that space of time. Even spending time with my daughter teaches me new things about her. There are ads online that tell me about product launches and new innovations and shops that I am unfamiliar with. Meeting up with friends gives me updates on their lives. And I think even if you're in some form of sensory deprivation tank where you can see and hear nothing, I still feel that you're probably learning something about yourself. Oh my god, the thoughts of those tanks absolutely terrify me. Sitting in the black dark with only my overactive imagination for company. Pass. So I did actually learn new things throughout the month, but I guess the difference for me was that I wasn't actively learning. I purposely avoided anything that had purely informational value. So I didn't read any blog posts or watch any videos that were about growing my business or increasing my followers or subscribers or learning a new skill or any of that. And I have to say, I came across a lot of that type of stuff because I subscribe to a lot of blogs and videos that are on those topics, and I just happened to come across a lot that were posted on social media. So I just saved all of those for later. But by not reading them, I saved myself a lot of time. I did still read a lot of blog posts, and I did actually learn some new things from them, but I guess the litmus test for me was, why was I reading the blog post? You know, if I was reading it purely for entertainment value, that was fine. So for example, there was a post that I read about packing kids' lunches, and yes, I learned how to pack a cute lunchbox, but that wasn't the reason I was reading the post. It was purely for entertainment purposes, you know, just to relax. I also didn't read any non-fiction books, and I nearly slipped up here because generally I tend to alternate between fiction and non-fiction, so I kind of automatically went to pick up a non-fiction book during the month, but I managed to stop myself in time. And I didn't attend any webinars this month, and there were quite a few, so that actually saved me a huge amount of time. I mean, hours and hours. But lads, I can't wait to dive back in. There, I said it. It started off easy enough, but as the month went on, I just found that I was so eager to start learning again, to start growing again. But what it did teach me is how much information I normally consume in a month. Right now, I have about 10 videos saved and about 60 blog posts. 60. 6-0. And because I wasn't actively looking for anything, that's just stuff that popped up in my regular subscriptions. In other words, stuff I would normally be consuming in a month, plus 1 or 2 webinars. And that's just the informational stuff. Like, I don't know how many blog posts I read or videos I watched that were purely for entertainment. I mean, holy fuck, that is a lot. That is 2 blog posts per day that I would normally read on some aspect of growing my business. There is just no way that I would have the time to implement everything I was learning. No wonder I was feeling so overwhelmed. So yeah, that was a big eye-opener for me. The challenge was worth it for that reason alone. Sometimes I think you have to take a big step back so you can get a good view of what is going on in your life. When you're just going day by day, you know, being swept along by the current, you can't really see how wide the river is or how much trouble you are in. You cannot see the giant fucking waterfall that is just ahead and that is about to crush you. I have seen my waterfall and it had burnout and feelings of not good enough written all over it. So now I have to decide what I'm going to do about it. If I want to avoid that waterfall, something has to change. I mean, I could do kind of regular challenges like this, where no new information challenges, where every second or third month I wouldn't consume any information. But honestly, I feel like I would just be alternating between frazzled and fine, frazzled and fine. I need something where I'm fine all the time. So there are two ways that I am considering, and I think I will actually do both. One is to cut down on the number of subscriptions I have so that that stuff doesn't even land in my feed at all. After all, if I need something, I can just go look for it. There is plenty of information out there. The other is to batch and then read similar posts together. So for example, in any given month, there will be a handful of posts on growing a Facebook page, a handful on SEO tips, etc., etc. They're all going to be from different sources, but because the topic will be the same, there's going to be a lot of overlap between the tips and advice they're offering. So what I could do is to put all of the Facebook posts in one folder, all of the SEO tips in another folder, and so on, so that I can put aside time on a fairly regular basis and read through each folder one by one. It will be much quicker to just read them all together when they're on the same topic, and it will save me a lot of time, I think, because instead of having, 10 different sets of notes on 10 different blog posts, I will have one kind of comprehensive set of notes on the same topic. I can then work on implementing the stuff from that one topic for a week or a month or whatever I feel is necessary before then moving on to a different topic. Does that make sense? I'm still consuming the same amount of information, but in a much more efficient way, because it's not actually the constant learning that is overwhelming me. I actually thrive on that, but it's the constant chopping and changing between different topics all of the time. I feel really frazzled because it's just a bit all over the place, and I'm not giving myself enough time to actually put things into practice before the next new thing comes along. That's what I think anyway. So I am going to give that a go, segmenting all of the information, consuming it in batches, and then giving myself time to absorb and analyze all of that information properly before moving on. That's my new challenge, I guess. I think it will be tough. It will be an adjustment, but I am going to make it work, because the current system of just reading whatever comes my way and flip-flopping all over the place is just too frustrating for me. I need a lot more focus. So would I do this challenge again? Well, hopefully when the new system is set up, I won't have to. But yes, I would if I felt that I needed to, if I felt that I was getting all frazzled and frustrated again. I might not do it for quite so long next time, probably maybe just a fortnight, because nerd alert, I love to learn. But it was worth it. It was a good experiment. I learned a lot, ironically, and hopefully I can use what I've learned to make my life easier, because that is what I am all about, making life easier. Thank you so much to everyone who took up the challenge with me, whether it was the No New Information challenge or a challenge of your own. Definitely let me know in the comments below how you fared. What was the most difficult thing about it? What is the biggest lesson you learned? And how it changed your life for the better. Cannot wait to read all of your stories. And hey, if you didn't manage to complete the challenge, don't sweat it. If you're trying, there is no such thing as failure. No effort goes unrewarded. If you are trying, you're learning, you know, you're pushing yourself. The only failure in life is not to bother trying at all. But that is it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I upload new videos every week to help you live a happier, simpler life. Until next time, gur míle maith agaibh agus feici me sibh se go luath. Slán!